Hi, my name is Mindy Gray, and I have chosen to do my discrimination speech on the discrimination against the transgendered. I chose this topic because I myself have never had to experience any of this type of discrimination or known anyone who has experienced this type of discrimination, and I really wanted to learn more about it, especially since it's becoming more of a problem in our society today. In no way, shape, or form has discrimination for anything ever been okay. No one should ever have to be judged for their gender or because they want to be a different gender. How can someone else be the judge of the inside and outside of someone else? But with the way our society is today, we are starting to see a rise on discrimination against transgenders, and I think it deserves a lot more help with the rules and regulations against discrimination against transgender. In the article, it states how many transgenders go without medical care simply because of the discrimination. Could you imagine being scared of going to a simple doctor's appointment simply because you feared for your life, simply because you're a male or a female, or because of discrimination against you because you chose to be a male or a female? It also states that many transgenders seek medical attention at emergency room facilities just to avoid the judgment of others and the discrimination or the hate or the crimes that happen every day. Could you imagine having to go to an emergency room every time you needed any type of medical attention? Or not having a family doctor because you were scared you'd be medically treated different than others that came into the doctor's office because of your gender? As much discrimination and judgment as transgenders experience, you can only imagine how many experience mental health problems that include depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, but with no doctor to turn to, who's there to help them and treat them? The article also states that in a survey when asked, have you ever attempted suicide, 41% of those respondents answered yes. That is a very high number. And the fact that our government is not taking a stand and do not have the laws that protect the transgender is ridiculous. Just because they chose to change their gender, our government thinks that it is okay to treat transgenders in the worst ways possible. It's sad when our own president makes remarks about transgenders and tries to prevent them from being who they are, trying to stop them from wanting to fight for our country, like they're not human beings and citizens of the United States of America. The fact that we have no laws to protect them really disgusts me, because there are so many transgenders that are very successful men and women that just want to live a normal life with the same opportunities as others who are not transgender. Some have had very successful jobs, some have had more simple jobs, and no one knew that they were transgender. But as soon as the word got out, most transgenders would either be demoted at their job, lose their job, and what does that accomplish? Just because they were transgender, they're not qualified to do the job anymore? Some excel in their jobs, and others are the only ones in the company that is able to do that certain job. But to some companies, that does not matter. The gender that the employee chose to be was more important, and in my eyes, that is just wrong. Going through this in a workplace and being denied for a job simply because of your gender is another reason as to why the numbers are so high when it comes to drugs, alcohol, and prostitution. I mean, what else do they expect? When they're denied public work, bashed for being a man or woman, lived a daily threatened life, and even assaulted and abused from others. These things also lead to the risk of AIDS, HIV, and other diseases simply because they are not accepted in our society today, when our government has the right to create certain laws that will protect the transgenders, but they refuse to do that. Coming out of the closet and revealing that one is transgender has got to be difficult in its own, more or less knowing that the obstacles and trials and tribulations they will have to face once they reveal who they are. This is why most choose to keep their transgender lives more secretly to themselves and not reveal it to everyone. It is not fair that the transgenders have to live every day of their lives in fear and wondering if today will be their last day, simply because they chose to be a man or woman. Why is our society trying to make an example out of them? And why isn't our government doing something to protect them? They are citizens of the United States, just as you and I are. They have the rights just as you and I do. But simply because their birth certificate may say one gender and a person living as the other gender, our government and society thinks it's okay to discriminate and hate the transgenders. I myself have no problem with transgenders and how they choose to live their lives. It's not my choice to tell them, no, they cannot be a male or female. In my eyes, they are a man or a woman, whoever they choose to be. And whoever it is that they choose to be, my advice to them would be fight. And I mean fight for your rights in this country and do whatever you have to do in your life to make you happy. It's your life and no one else's. You're the one that lives it, and only you can make yourself happy. Continue to fight for what's right and what's wrong. And just because you choose to be a man or woman does not make you any less of a man or woman. Do not ever let the opinions of others dictate who you are. You are you, and only you can make the best of yourself.